Today on Sports Desk, we look back at another banner year for the country. Pinoy athletes shine bright on the world stage with historic victories, including our first ever Olympic gold medal.
Many Filipino stars also taking their talents overseas, turning pro in countries like Japan, Australia, and Serbia.
But it's the end of an era in boxing as one Filipino legend hears the final bell of his career. It's time to go all out on the year's top sports stories. I'm Andrei, Felix.
And I'm Pauline, Verzosa, and this is Sports Desk Year in Review.
No doubt about it, 2021 was definitely a year like no other for the Philippines in sports, Pauline.
Well, that's right, Andrei. You know, a number of our athletes proved that Filipinos are definitely world-class by claiming not just one, but several international titles while making history along the way.
Of course, battering Team Philippines, who else? None other than our golden girl. Kinilabutan ako doon. Weightlifter, that woman, Hidilyn Diaz, claiming our first ever Olympic gold medal at the pandemic-delayed Summer Games in Tokyo, Japan in July.
And here's a look back at how Diaz put an end to the country's 97-year wait for the top individual prize on the biggest stage in sports.
Hidilyn Diaz set herself for her biggest mission yet on her fourth straight Olympic appearance. The 30-year-old Zamboanga native determined to turn her silver into a gold. The only returning Olympian among a 19-strong Philippine delegation, carrying more than just heavy barbells, but the weight of a whole country's expectations before she even set foot in Tokyo.
Ito expectation na ito, medyo malaki ang pressure sa akin. Para sa akin, kailangan kong tignan to as my last competition, as my last Olympics, para gawin ko yung best ko.
The pandemic delayed Diaz's quest in 2020. Stuck in an apartment in Malaysia, the weightlifter still continued training with improvised equipment for months. Once she landed in Tokyo, the seasoned Olympian basked in every moment without a glimpse of any pressure. But 3 days since the Games opened, the Philippines was still left with no medal. Diaz entered the women's 55-kilogram category with laser-sharp focus. She opened her bid with a comfortable 94 kilograms in snatch before adding 3 more kilos to take second place. Diaz faltered at 99 kilograms but still managed to smile. The competition got tighter as world record holder Liao Chuyun of China took a pivotal lead, lifting 126 kilograms in clean and jerk. In her final attempt, Diaz treading uncharted territories with 127 kilograms standing between her and the gold. And just when it looked too heavy, Diaz powered through to end the Philippines' 97-year gold medal drought in the Olympics. In the process, she also set 2 Olympic records, lifting a total of 224 kilos.
Hindi pa rin ako makapaniwala na nanalo ako ng gold. Yes, hindi po madali ang pagpapanalo ko dito ng gold medal. Naging madali kasi may mga tao behind me. Mentally, emotionally, physically, prepared po ako. Kaya nagawa ko yun.
Congratulatory messages poured in praising Diaz for her feat, but the gold medalist attributed her victory to her entire team for all their sacrifices, much of which is unseen on top of a podium.
Thank you so much. Medyo hindi din nagmadali sa kanila kasi sabi nila, I have really a high standard in training. Gusto ko parating magandang training ko. And I really get frustrated and parati kong tinatanong bakit ganito. Gusto ko mag-improve. Hindi ko in-expect na mabuhat ko yun kahapon. Siguro si God yun and all the people who pray kahapon. Sobrang thankful ako sa lahat na nagdasal, nagdubina. Thank you so much.
Diaz's breakthrough earning a place in the hearts of many as the whole world watched her write history anew.
Before Hidilyn's big win at the Olympics, golfer Yuka Sasso already made the country proud in June by becoming the first Filipino to ever win a major golf tournament. Sasso topped the U.S. Women's Open, beating Japan's Nasa Hataoka in an aggregate playoff to win the tournament. Sasso also tied South Korea's Inbi Park as the youngest champion of the event at age 19. And I got to speak to Sasso right after her epic victory. She said she believes there's more to improve in her game despite making history. Sasso also looked back at the moment before her win.
Unang-una po, naisip ko po yung pamilya ko. Sobrang lahat ng pasasalamat ko sa kanila. And Medyo masakit po kasi yung tiyan ko.
Ha?
So,
Masakit yung tiyan mo?
po, pero okay naman na po. Naggutom lang po ata. And sobrang laki din po ng pasasalamat po sa lahat ng sumuporta po sa akin all these years. I'm really, really grateful. And to all fans in Philippines, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Binigyan niyo po ako ng lakas. Maraming salamat po ulit.
Well, sana okay ka na at nakakain ka na, hindi ka na nagugutom. You just made history at ikaw yung first Filipino.
Okay naman na po.
Yuka, ano yung naging strategy mo going in? Like game plan going in? Did you expect na ganito yung mangyayari na ikaw yung na mananalo ka dito? Nung pumasok ka dito?
Hindi ko po masyado iniisip kung sino yung mananalo or sino yung matatalo. Ginusto ko lang po mag-focus sa golf ko, sa sarili ko. Just to keep my focus, just to keep focusing on my golf.
You had to compete, Yuka, dun sa playoff, di ba, for the title. Pag-usapan natin yung that playoff. That was tough. That was intense. Grabe yung pressure na yon and a pressure-packed situation. Gaano kahirap yun, yung ganong sitwasyon? Yung playoff and then, the pressure.
Medyo kinakabahan po ako nung una. And dun po sumakit yung tiyan ko after ko po maglaro ng 18 holes. And kinakabahan po ako pero medyo kalmado din po at the same time. I was talking to my caddy.
Yeah.
And
Kumalma ka naman. Yeah. Yes, Yuka? Go ahead.
And hindi ko po alam kung bakit pero I think medyo kalmado po ako nung playoff.
Yeah.
And I think that helped a lot.
At least nakatulong pala yung sumakit yung tiyan mo, no? Naging kalmado ka kasi pag iba sumakit yung tiyan, parang kakabahan, Yuka. Tanungin kita, gaano ka ka-proud? Alam mo ba yung ginawa mo, Yuka? You just made history here for the Philippines. First Filipina, Yuka, to win a major in the LPGA. Nagagrasp mo ba yun? Has it sunk in na, gosh, I just made history here?
Sobrang saya ko po na history po yung ginawa ko. Pero I think there's still a long way to go for me. So I'll just keep on working.
Since winning the U.S. Women's Open title, Sasso has been in the top 10 of the Women's World Golf Rankings. She also represented the country during the Tokyo Olympics, where she finished in the top 10 of women's individual golf. Unfortunately, we may soon see Sasso play for a different flag. Sasso says she has chosen to become a Japanese citizen to comply with Japan's nationality law. Despite her choice, Sasso says she's still proud to be Pinoy. In a statement, she explains, I quote, "I am a Filipina, born in the Philippines, to a Japanese father and Filipino mother. I was raised in both Japan and the Philippines. I am immensely proud of my dual heritage, and that will never change." End quote.
Well, as for Carlos Yulo, he bounced back from Olympic heartbreak by becoming a world gymnastics champion again. Yulo struck gold in men's vault at the World Artistic Gymnastics Championships held in Japan in October. Another historic feat here, as Yulo also won silver in the parallel bars. Now that makes him the first Filipino to claim multiple medals at the prestigious meet. The victories come even as Yulo nursed an elbow injury, which he suffered during training right before the event. Now, despite this huge setback, Yulo shared what motivated him to fight through the pain en route to another world title.
Hindi ko pa din naman po nakakalimutan yung Olympics. Na hindi siya maalis sa isip ko yung grabe, natalo po ako sa sarili ko din. Na ayoko na magkamali, ayoko yung ganong pagkakamali. Mahirap siya kasi, may times na hindi na din sumasangayon yung katawan ko. Pero syempre, hindi po ako pwedeng magpabaya din. Minake ko po na preparado ako, kahit anong mangyari, magkamali ako doon, ayos lang. Basta na nag-give ko yung best ko sa preparation ko.
Yulo has been on a mission to redeem himself after falling short of a medal at the Tokyo Olympics. He made it to the final of just one event, the vault, at the Summer Games, where he finished in 4th place. Yulo says he is still far from avenging his winless campaign at the Olympics. He adds he is determined to find more success on the international stage and that only a gold medal at the 2024 Paris Olympics will complete his revenge tour.
Nanalo po ako right now, pero hindi po ako nasasatisfy doon kasi hindi pa naman po completely na kapag revenge ako sa nangyari po this year sa akin. Nagsisimula pa lang po kasi po ako. So, masasabi ko po yun kapag naabot ko na po yung personal goal ko sa 2024. Goal po talaga nung nakita ko yung kay Ate Hidilyn. Nakaka-inspira po talaga eh. Like, gusto ko din nun. Yung ganong feeling po na parang gutom eh.
Filipino pole vaulter EJ Obiena likewise continued his quest for excellence even after the Tokyo Olympics. Obiena set new Asian and Philippine records in September by clearing 5.93 meters at the 2021 Golden Roof Challenge in Austria. Obiena won the gold medal in the event with his record-breaking leap. He saw action in various international tournaments after his Olympic debut in Tokyo. Obiena's post-Olympic accomplishments include a silver medal from a competition in Poland. Also in September, he also finished 4th in the prestigious Diamond League final in Switzerland. You're watching Sports Desk Year in Review, where we're going all out for the top sports stories of 2021. Coming up, a look back at the success of our national boxing team as they slug their way to 3 medals at the Tokyo Olympics. Meantime, these basketball stars showing us that suiting up for the national team isn't the only way to represent the country on the international stage. We hear from some superstar cagers who've decided to turn pro abroad. Stay tuned, only here on CNN Philippines. Welcome back to Sports Desk Year in Review here on CNN Philippines. A new era has begun for Gilas Pilipinas on the international scene. The national men's basketball team backed on a youth movement for its impressive campaign this year. They swept the 3rd and final window of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers in June, even beating arch-rival South Korea twice. And that sweep capped off the team's perfect run in the qualifiers of 6 wins and 0 losses. Gilas also put up a gallant stand against powerhouse countries the Dominican Republic and Serbia in the Olympic qualifying tournament in July. In this interview, Gilas coach Tab Baldwin tells us what makes the young guns of the national team special.
Well, Andrei, what I liked most about them was their willingness to come to work when it was practice time for all of those weeks that we were in the Colombo bubble. And they just showed a great desire to build a culture, to blend together, to work with the coaching staff. And then in these games, we're so far from anything like the cohesion that we want to show, ultimately as a roster and as a group of basketball players. But their heart, their determination, everybody could see it. We're right now more about learning and finding out from our opponents those areas of weakness that exist with us. And I'm sure that many will be pointed out to us in the next couple of weeks. And, we're going to go over there with a humble mentality, a humble spirit, but also a fighting spirit. We're not going to walk on the floor thinking that we're going to lose. We're going to walk on the floor knowing that we're going to compete, but realistic with what we're going to confront.
Some of the biggest names in basketball here in the country, Gilas standouts included, have found another way to rep the flag on the global stage. 2021 saw players like Kiefer Ravena, Bobby Ray Parks Jr., Dwight Ramos, Kobe Paras, and the Gomez Diliano brothers Juan and Javi take their talents to the Japanese Basketball League. The move was pioneered by Kiefer's brother 30 Ravena in 2020 when he signed as an Asian import with the Sun and Neo Phoenix. And Andrei here got to speak to the GDL brothers who say playing abroad is also an opportunity to prove that Filipino basketball is indeed world class.
When opportunities like this present, we always look at it as a blessing. And, the fact that, we had this opportunity to play the game that we love in Japan and, just continue to make the country proud is, we always look at it as a blessing.
Yeah, you're
And over the years, we've seen the B League grow over the years, and just to see the competition level itself, we would definitely learn a lot. And to be in Japan, with such great environment, great culture, I think it would be such a great way to start our pro careers, and it would be a great stepping stone. And we believe this is the best route to achieve the main goal of ours. So very exciting times ahead.
Yeah, Japan is one of my favorite countries, so I can't blame you both. I love Japan. And alam mo naman natin, you bring honor and pride when you go overseas and represent being a Filipino. Javi, was this a family decision na pareho talaga kayong pupunta ng Japan? How did this come about?
Well, to be honest, it wasn't a family decision. I think it was just a blessing of opportunity to happen because this is my first international offer actually. Right after one signed with this team, others also contacted me and my agent. So and of course it's Japan. I've been watching 30 games last year, so it really got me excited playing for Japan, and the level of competition there is just really great. So I think it was a no-brainer for me to take the opportunity because it's really not everyone gets this kind of opportunities.
Javi, you were quoted online as saying that your goal in Japan is to show the world that Philippine basketball has excelled over the years. Why is this so important to you?
Because I know that the fact when I play in Japan, I know that I'll also be carrying our country, and with that, I want to use that platform to show not just Japan but to show the world that Filipino ballers have been excelling over the years, and I just want to show that there are a lot of great talent out here, so that in the future, a lot more Filipino players can aspire to play abroad as well.
I also got to speak to Dwight Ramos, and he says that despite his gig overseas, playing for Gilas will always be his main priority.
With Gilas, you get a different feeling when you play for your country. So for that, I'm always going to want to play for Gilas. I'm always going to be with Gilas with that. And without Gilas, I wouldn't have had all these opportunities coming for me. And I'm just really thankful to be on the team. So as far as the scheduling, it sort of just depends on maybe the quarantines, or we're still not even sure if the window's going to push through yet. It hasn't been confirmed. So I'm just waiting for all the final word on all of those things, and then I can make my decision what's going to happen. Yeah, so for me, no matter where I'm playing, I'm going to play the same. I play hard. I do the little things. I'll rebound, play defense. I'll just do whatever is asked of me, and that's kind of just how I play basketball. So if it's with Toyama, with Gilas, I'm always going to play the same way.
Filipino athletes have also joined football and volleyball leagues in Japan. National women's football stalwarts Sarina Bolden and Quinley Quesada were tapped to play in Japan's first women's professional football league, while volleyball superstars Jaja Santiago, Mark Espejo, and Brian Bagunas all returned for another campaign in the land of the rising sun.
Well, Japan is not the only new destination for our hoop stars. Kai Soto became the first Filipino to join Australia's National Basketball League. He's playing for the Adelaide 36ers in the land down under. Meantime, Gilas women's superstar Jack Animam continues to blaze a trail for Filipino ballers. She turned pro in Europe, suiting up for the Radnički Kragujevac in the first women's basketball league of Serbia.
I'm just so happy, proud, and honored that, I've come this far. We all know that Serbia is one of the best basketball country that there is. So I'm just really excited to learn more about the game and keep improving and really push myself to the limit. I'm not just doing this for myself, but also for my fellow Filipinos, especially the younger girls.
Both Jack and Kai hope to take their talents to the U.S. again soon. Jack even plans to enter the WNBA draft next year. This is Sports Desk Year in Review. After the break, the end of an era in Philippine sports as boxing icon Manny Pacquiao announces his retirement. We'll be right back. Keep it here only on CNN Philippines.
Thank you for tuning in to Sports Desk Year in Review, only here on CNN Philippines. One of boxing's most prolific champions has heard the final bell of his career. Manny Pacquiao says goodbye to the sport after 26 spectacular years.
Well, as boxing's only 8th division champion drops the curtain, he's now preparing for a challenge that goes beyond the squared circle.
It is difficult for me to accept that my time as a boxer is over. Today, I am announcing my retirement.
One of the greatest boxers of all time is hanging up his gloves. In a video statement entitled Goodbye Boxing, the 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao bid an emotional farewell following an illustrious career that spanned more than 2 decades. The people's champ walking away from the sport that made him a source of pride for the country as he sets his sights on his biggest fight yet in the coming 2022 presidential elections.
I will never forget what I have done and accomplished in my life. As I hang up my boxing gloves, I would like to thank the whole world, especially the Filipino people, for supporting Manny Pacquiao.
Just last August, Pacquiao absorbed a stunning defeat against Cuban fighter Yordenis Ugas in what has turned out to be his last dance. Despite the loss, the Pac-Man's legacy remains as the first and only boxer in history to win 12 major world titles across 8 different weight divisions, with a total record of 62 wins with 39 knockouts, 8 losses, and 2 draws. Once hailed as pound-for-pound king and among the highest-paid athletes in the world, Pacquiao has defeated world champions and legends including Juan Manuel Marquez, Ricky Hatton, and Oscar de la Hoya. Fans all over the world thank Manny for his contributions to the sport, saying he will go down as a legend. In Metro Manila, streets would no longer go quiet on a Pacquiao fight day.
Napapanahon na siguro kasi may edad na rin naman na siya eh. Para sa akin, okay na rin yun. Bakit sir? Marami na siyang pera po. At saka marami na rin siya natulungan. Marami na rin siya ari-ari yan. Okay na rin yun. Kasi para sa kanya din yan.
Sa palagay ko po, hindi nakakayanin niya. Bukod sa nabago yung estilo niya, ay hindi nakakayanan ng kalusugan niya. Kaya po ang suggest ko sa kanya, magretiro na lang siya, ipagpatuloy kung gusto talaga siya sa politika.
Pacquiao already made the same decision to retire in 2016 when he was a senatorial aspirant, only to head back inside the ring months after. But Pacquiao says this is the time to support a great number of potential boxers who are younger and can also give glory to the country.
I just heard the final bell. Tapos na ang boxing. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
We may have seen the last of Manny Pacquiao in the ring, but a promising future lies ahead for us in boxing. 3 of our boxers solidify the country's best Olympic campaign yet in Tokyo. Nesty Petesio became the first Filipina to win an Olympic medal in boxing, bagging silver in the women's featherweight division. Carlo Paalam also scored silver from the men's flyweight ranks, while middleweight Yumir Marshall hauled in a bronze. After getting their first shot at glory, the 3 boxers say there's no stopping them from aiming higher.
Yung experience po na to, kumbaga, hindi siya mapapalitan ng kahit sino or kahit ano po. Kasi first Olympics po namin, first Olympics ko po, nakakuha din po ako ng medalya.
Yung medal na to, galing sa recycle na medal po, gamit ng mga gadget ng mga sira po. Parang buhay ko din po. Parang nawasak man, naging nabuo po.
Yung pangarap ko, makuha yung gold, hanggang ngayon, nandito po yun sa akin.
The boxing team's Olympic run is also a fitting end for longtime coach Nolito Boy Velasco. Coach Boy helped produce Olympic medalists in his decades of service. Among them, Nesty Petesio and his brothers, Onyok and Roel Velasco. Pawi, grabe, no? If we look back at 2021, ang daming na-accomplish. Busy-busy ka, no?
We were all busy, and I think it's just really a great milestone for Philippine sports, if not the biggest, especially with our gold medal, courtesy of Hidilyn Diaz.
Considering pandemic, no? There were still a lot of things that happened in the year kahit may pandemic. Well, looking ahead now, Pawi, for the sports fans, ano ba yung mga dapat abangan natin in 2022?
Well, like you said, Andrei, we're still reeling from the effects of the pandemic, but we're slowly bouncing back. Next year, it's going to be a very packed schedule, a busy year for our national athletes. We have the Asian Games as a 19th Asian Games. We even have the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers happening here in the Philippines. But most importantly, we have the 31st SEA Games happening in Hanoi, Vietnam. That's in May. And of course, our national team will try to bag another historic overall championship in that SEA Games.
Wow, a lot of things happening. And will you be there? Sana ba
I hope so. I hope we can start traveling and covering all these events live. We really miss it also.
Yeah, of course. And then, who knows, pag 2024, Paris.
Paris.
Hopefully. And we've reached the finish line for 2021, but don't you worry, we'll continue to go all out for the day's top sports stories in 2022.
Well, that's right, Andrei. You can catch Sports Desk weekdays live at 10 a.m. with replays at 2:30 p.m. and Sports Desk weekend Saturdays at 1:15 p.m. and 4 p.m. as well as Sundays at 8:15 a.m. and 3:45 p.m.
My name is Andrei Felix.
And I'm Pauline Verzosa.
And thank you for watching Sports Desk Year in Review, only here on CNN Philippines. Stay safe.